You've effectively been accused of overreacting because of the two false negatives. And the Prime Minister used the word fear a lot yesterday, that we shouldn't respond with fear. Are you responding with fear and are you overreacting?
No, I agree with the Prime Minister. We shouldn't respond with fear. I think I've been calm for a year and a half and provided some assurance about the things that we need to go through to get control of this virus. I do like to warn against complacency, but all of the statements that I made about the Kappa variant, the primary one that we're dealing with in Melbourne, were factual. They relate to the fact that we absolutely have to chase every single case down. We need to get back to COVID zero. That's a significant challenge. So when I use the term beast, and Chip Legrand might think there's a technical definition of that term, I don't believe so. I'm trying to warn against complacency and to motivate everyone to get tested, to isolate, to follow the rules. I think Victorians have done a magnificent job in that regard. The fact that we're getting 50,000 tests per day, that's 5% of Victoria's been tested in the last week. That is a huge part of being able to get on top of this. And so I can only be grateful, but I want to warn against the idea that just because we've always beaten this virus back in Victoria and elsewhere, and that Australia has been virus-free in terms of community transmission for months and months and months, that we shouldn't expect that we'll be in this position forever. That is something that we absolutely have to work continually to guard against.
There's a fair few epidemiologists who say, look, there's not enough proof of the fleeting contact that is happening any more this time than previously. What hard data is there to show that there's more of that transient transmission?
Look, these might be random effects. So I'm not saying that we're dealing with, and I said it at the last press conference I attended, I'm not saying that this variant is the most infectious variant, the Kappa. It isn't. I'm not saying that it has magical qualities, but we have noted 5 exposure sites where transmission has occurred to 7 individuals, I believe, who have had less than that, usual prolonged indoor, home, work, face-to-face settings, or indeed restaurant settings. We're talking about shopping centres. That might be more thorough search, more people stepping up to get tested, but it's a reality. That's what we found and that's what we're reporting on.
And is there any less risk to the community? Is there any possibility that you ease restrictions sooner because of the 2 false negatives? Does that make you relax a little bit more?
Oh, certainly we're happy that these are off the books. So fewer transmissions have occurred by virtue of that. There are primary close contacts that can be stood down because these aren't true cases. And those exposure sites that are related to those cases are also stood down or will be stood down. So that's all reassuring. That said, we've got disturbing news overnight and we just need to take every single day as it comes.